Well, hello, my spooky little pickles. How we doing? Today I heard something wild that terrified me a little bit. So I found out my manager came across my channel. I don't know how it happened. I think his contact synced to something. So if you're watching, you're right, boss man. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the story. So, a lot of people throughout my life, because I'm quite old now, I've asked, what is it like growing up with having so many paranormal experiences and living with ghosts and still living with ghosts? So I'm going to answer your question. It's going to be in two parts in one video. Part one, when I was a child. Part two, now as an adult. So, when I was a child, I've got to say, terrifying. In a word, pretty scary. At one point, my mum had to move back into my grandma's because she got divorced. I'm not getting into that, but we lived with my grandma for a little time. And I have so many aunties and uncles, so it was never a quiet house. I never felt alone. But at night, I always felt quite scared. I don't know why, because my grandma was really religious, so I was never brought up believing in ghosts and paranormal things. But I just always had a really tight feeling in my chest at night, and it weren't because I was alone. I just did. But if I knew my granddad was home when I went to bed, I felt fine. But if he wasn't there, I'd feel really anxious until he came home. And it's not like I saw him all the time. Like, I love my granddad. I was quite close to him. And he treated everyone the same. He was a very fair person. He didn't have favourites. So it's not like I was his favourite or anything. But I don't know. Like, he used to have this routine where he'd either be in his shed. He had like a man cave, which was his shed next to the house. Or he might go out for 1 or 2 beers at the local pub. But if he wasn't home when I went to bed, I'd feel really, really anxious. And I don't know why. But I think there was something in my grand's house growing up. Nothing specifically bad. I'm not scared to go there now, and in the day it all felt fine, but at night, I don't know, it felt really odd. Yeah. So as a child, I'm not schizophrenic, by the way. I would see a lot of shadow people, and that would really freak me out. I know it wasn't because my grandma ran a tight ship, so she heard one footfall. Her ears are amazing. If she heard one person moving that shouldn't be, you'd hear her go, "Hey, get back in bed," or you'd hear some commotion. So it weren't because people were faffing. But I'd see things. I'd be like, "No, it's okay. It's just a shadow." That would really freak me out. I'd also have really terrifying dreams. I'd wake up and I did mention in another video, there'd be someone stood at the bottom of my bed. It wasn't a person, just like a shadow being. Really, really creepy. And I mentioned in my other video about, is it death? Is it Lucifer? There was a really dark winged angel, but it just like a shadow of an angel. I don't know if it was good or bad. I didn't know, but as a 4 or 5 year old, that's pretty terrifying. Just an ominous looming figure at the side or at the bottom of your bed. That was terrifying. So as a child, terrifying. As I got a bit older, I learned to recognise the ones that creeped me out and the ones that were just a bit trickstery, which is why I think Lenny's been with me for a while. If you don't know who Lenny is, watch any of my other videos because he's mentioned pretty regularly. Lenny, he's not a house ghost. I don't know what he is. He's just my personal ghost. Not a spirit guide because he just causes havoc, but he's mine. So, but weird things have happened to me throughout my life. So as a teenager, it was either funny or just irritating. Because it's the same now. Like, he'll move stuff. And you're like, why? Why, mate? And you look for it and look for it. And it's not until I stop and go, Lenny, mate, where are my keys? Even though I knew I hung them up. And I knew my kids hadn't took them because they took their own keys to, well, when my eldest lived here before she went to uni, to come to college. And my daughter, before she went to high school, they had their own keys. They didn't need to touch mine. So I'd be like, Lenny, where are my keys? And the second I shouted that, they'd just, I turned on and they'd just be right there. So, irritating. Some funny things happened though, like when I was a teenager, if something would happen to my sister, that'd be quite funny. It wasn't because I did it, just nothing even bad, again, just irritating shit. And at the time I didn't know it was Lenny, I thought she was just being absent-minded and she'd put something somewhere else, so of course I'd get blamed, but it's pretty funny watching it happen. Her being slightly irritated by the odd thing. Now looking back, I think it was Lenny. That's quite funny. As an adult, I'm no longer terrified. I'm more between two feelings, amused and befuddled, or irritated. Sometimes it's funny. The occasional time it is scary. Not as much anymore because I sort of know what things are. So, in my house specifically, because I'm used to the energy, I'm mostly fine. I'm mostly irritated at Lenny when he pulls his crap. Like, mate, one shoe, really? Why? Where is my other shoe? I'm not the kind of person that just takes one shoe from one room, goes to another room and puts my shoe in another place. And my son isn't really one for messing with shoes. Like, it'd be silly and put them on in front of me and go, Mum, look, but then take them straight off in front of me. So it's not him either. And a lot of the times, it's when my kids out about and I know I put my shoes in a specific place. And Lenny, the prankster, I'm trying not to swear, will just move one shoe. Or my car keys. Or just my shopping, I'll be unpacking it and I know I'll put like a certain thing on the side, ready to put in the cupboard right above it. And I'll be like, where is it? And I'll be looking all over the shop and it'll be on a random counter on the other side of the kitchen. I'm like, and I was shouting to my daughter, did you move it? And she's like, no, it's probably Lenny. So I'm like, is it you or is it Lenny? So vaguely irritating. I do get a little bit scared still sometimes. Because I have mentioned there is a shadow being in my house. I don't like to talk about it too frequently, and this is going to be quick because I don't like to draw attention to it. But it sort of hides under my stairs. It's like Harry Potter, but not in the fun, magical Hogwarts way. It's like creepy shadow person way. Not the Hat Man though. I have had a visit of him. Terrifying, by the way. This is a different one, but just creepy, unpleasant energy. I usually ignore it, but the other day, I don't know why, it just freaks me right out. My kids, well, my eldest is gone to uni now. My other one was asleep in bed, and actually my other little one was asleep in bed, so it was like I felt alone in the house, which is rare. And I just had this ominous, horrible looming feeling in the downstairs hallway, and I was like, oh my god, it's a creepy shadow person in it. So I used having ghosts to my advantage. I went, Lenny, right, mate, come with me. I'm a bit scared here. And he might not have. He might have just been like, no, start off, bitch. But I felt a bit better talking to Lenny. So I went upstairs, so I didn't feel alone. So it's quite comforting knowing there are other beings in the house that are sort of with you, along with this occasional ominous feeling. A few weeks ago, I got a bit of a creepy feeling because, again, I was the only one in the house and I freaked myself out and I just went, not today, Satan! And I stormed off upstairs because I was in a bad mood. I don't think it's Satan. I do think it's just a shadow person. Again, I don't know what they are. Don't really know where they're from. I don't know how to get rid of it because none of my tricks work. I've tried a few things and believe me, I've got some tricks up my sleeve. Sometimes it eases off a little bit and it just is always looming there. So I'm like, alright, mate, whatever. Just leave me the hell alone. But yeah, him and Lenny don't get on. But when I ask Lenny for company, I don't feel so scared when I have to walk past that shadowy corner at night. I'm just a child, really. I'm an adult child. Needs a company and up the stairs, apparently. Yeah, it can be wild though, but living my life because entities are well aware that I see them or hear them or I'm aware in some way of them. And I used to a lot more when I was younger, but I sort of purposely shut it out a little bit because it just got so creepy for me. It got so terrifying, and being brought up pretty religious, my brain just, it might not have been something creepy, but my brain equated it to something horrible and demonic and creepy and scary. So yeah, it was really, really unpleasant. So I purposely shut a lot of it out. Some things are still there that I don't really need to work on, like I can feel the energy shifting in a room. I can sort of, I'm not mad, but the other day I was sat next to my son, my eldest son, and we just sat chilling, and I thought they said something, and I was like, what did you say? Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. And no, Mum, I didn't say nothing. And I was like, oh, okay. And that happens sometimes quite regularly. Like, I'll just hear the odd word, but you're like, what was it? You know, when someone says something, but you don't quite catch it. So, I get that quite often. Sorry. Oh, unpleasant. See, I get that quite often. I get a lot of prophetic dreams. Not as much, but if I worked on it, I probably could get more. But again, I don't want to, because it takes a lot out of you. You wake up more tired. And it's always like, put myself in there. It's always quite scary. Like, there is a story time about me stopping my friend walking into the road, and she just missed getting hit by a truck, nearly dying. So I'm glad I saved her. I'm glad I had that dream, but it's a lot. A lot. I also knew my partner was cheating before he told me through a dream. So I checked, and what happened in my dream exactly happened in reality. So it's not always pleasant. So I just don't like to. What else is there? I'll see an idea of something in my head, and then a few days or weeks later, I'll see like the object I saw or the situation that just flashed in my head, like you know, like deja vu. But it's about a situation. You're like, I knew that was going to happen, so you can sort of prepare for it, which it's happened to me quite a lot. It's quite fortunate. So no, I'm not psychic. I think I'm just very attuned, and that opens me up for messages and to see creepy shit and to get my keys moved. Because I think if you ignore it and you don't give these spirits, ghost entities, whatever you want to call them, if you don't give them energy, they'll get bored and it'll sort of starve them and they'll go away. But I think I'm just like a Duracell battery to them. They're just like, yeah, she's going to give us attention. So this probably isn't helping, is it, if I'm honest, talking about them online. But I'm quite used to it now. Unless it's something creepy, and then I'll work my stuff and get rid of it. But that doesn't usually happen. I think the nice spirit sort of protects me, in a way. So yeah, in answer, as a child, terrifying, scary, would not recommend. 0 stars. As an adult, I'll give it 3 stars actually, because it's quite amusing sometimes. And you feel a bit less alone when you freak yourself out. You're like, it's okay, I've got Lenny with me. Not that he's going to do anything, I just don't feel alone. So yeah, I've got codependency issues with my ghost, apparently. I think I need a therapist. But comment below if you think I need a therapist. Wherever you comment here, I'm old, I don't know. Yeah, leave a comment if you think I need a therapist, psychiatrist. I don't know. Comment if you've had any weird experiences yourself, whether they're funny or scary or spooky, or if you have like prophetic dreams or anything. If you have any creepy stories or funny stories that you don't want to tell but want me to tell, send them to me. I'll happily tell them in however you want me to do so. I can be serious. I'm just stupid about myself because I'm quite silly. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your, well, it's evening here, but whatever time it is when you watch this. And I'll speak to you soon, my haunted little pickles. Toodly pips.